Oh yeah, I've heard some good splashes.
Ethan, I got him on thermal over here, actually.
He's got him on thermal. Copy, give me a size.
Probably directly across from the fire.
Directly across from fire, copy.
When we left off last season, Ethan and Barnaby were on the banks of the Pelican River in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, playing target to something hurling rocks at them from the other side. The Caps team came to town after a series of unknown howls were recorded by witnesses Colton and Taylor, who live in the apartments and who are joining us for parts of our investigation. Rhinelander is the infamous home of the Hodag. Unfortunately, that creature is more myth and legend than actual fact. But don't let the locals hear you say that. They take him very seriously.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
Ah, I was kind of expecting you.
Uh-huh. Sounds good. We're here to learn about the Hodag.
Yeah. So there are dozens of legends, tales, stories, yarns about what I like to call the Great Pine Beast, the Hodag here. And to tell them all, it would take me days of nonstop talking, which I'd be willing to do if you had the time, and I've done before. But in an effort to be brief, I have put a lot of the highlights of these tales and legends into one story. Legend has it that there was a gentleman that lived up in this area by the name of Eugene Simeon Shepard. Gene Shepard, I'm sure you've heard the name, famous for his timber cruising exploits, was a world-class surveyor, landlooker, a little bit of a prankster, among other things. And the story is that he was walking on a trail just north of town in the township of Pine Lake, section 37 on the plat map, when Gene stopped dead in his tracks. His nose was assailed by a horrendous, skunky, musty odor. Rotten buzzard meat is, I think, how Gene described it. And that's when Gene noticed a tuft of black and dark green fur alongside the trail. A little further up the trail, he noticed a giant white pine tree. About 7 feet up on the tree were sharp claw marks. Gene was a tough lumberjack type, but undeterred, he continued along the trail until he discovered a hole dug into the side of a hill. Gene crept up to this hole very quietly, very carefully, slowly. Bent over, peeked inside, expecting to maybe find a black bear taking a nap. As you guys know, we have lots of black bears in Wisconsin, especially up here in the North Woods. And for their part, they're relatively harmless. Sure enough, Gene discovered the furry black backside of a creature, but he'd never seen a black bear with a long tail with gleaming white spikes along its back. And so Gene stepped aside and he found some rocks and he covered up this hole, and he quickly made his way back to Rhinelander, downtown, to an area that we know today as the Hollow. In the early days it was called the Hungry Hollow. Lumberjacks were kind of rough and tumble, kind of rowdy, and they were banned from our main street here, Brown Street in Rhinelander, because they were apt to cause trouble. And so down in the Hungry Hollow at that time, there were 27 lumberjack saloons and inns. So it didn't take Gene long to drum up a large posse of lumberjacks, the toughest of them, and they went back out to this hole north of town, and they took with them this very pike pole that's hanging from the ceiling above you. So at the spike end of the pike pole, they put a piece of cloth with some chloroform or sleeping medication, is what I say to the kids, and they slowly stuck it into the back of this hole. The creature that was napping inside seemingly fell into an even deeper slumber. Gene got down on his hands and knees. He crawled in very carefully, very quietly once again, grabbed this beast by the tail, whatever it was, and he slowly pulled it out. Well, as soon as the lantern light hit this creature's face, its eyes popped open. It sprung upon the lumberjacks. One of the lumberjacks had brought along some chain, and they were able to wrestle this beast to the ground and subdue it, put it on a wagon they had brought along, get a better look at it. It was about 7 feet long. It was covered in dark green and black shaggy fur. It had 12 white spikes along its back, 13 including one long one at the end of its tail. It had oxen-like horns, it had tusks for teeth, and it had razor-sharp claws. And Gene Shepherd figured he had captured this mysterious creature, which they decided to call a Hodag. Hodag is the slang term for a tool that they would use up in this area called a grub hoe. Again, its nickname up in this area was called a Hodag, and it's used for planting trees, particularly on hillsides. It features a sharp claw on it, just like the beast we see before us, so it was a fitting name, they figured. They brought the Hodag back to town, to Gene's property, which is just a couple blocks away from here, an old estate called the Pines, near what is now Shepherd Park. There's a dog park over there now, over on Prospect Street. At the Pines estate, there's a house that we locals call the Hodag house, obviously, and this is right across the river from Hombo, which you guys were over that way. As you can imagine, this house is painted green, and Gene had dug a big pit in the backyard. They chained the Hodag to the bottom of the pit. They built a big stone barn over the top of this pit. All of this you can drive by and see to this very day. Well, word traveled far and wide and very quickly in those days by various newspaper outlets, and next thing you know, thousands of people were flocking to Rhinelander to catch a glimpse of this shaggy-furred prehistoric beast they had captured in the old-growth forests of northern Wisconsin. Well, word traveled so far that a gentleman out in New York State by the name of Phineas T. Barnum heard about the Hodag. I'm sure you're familiar with P.T. Barnum. This was right up his alley. He decided to travel to Rhinelander by train to offer Gene Shepherd a large sum of money to take the Hodag back to New York to display in his circus. That same time, the Smithsonian Institute dispatched a team of scientists to come up to Rhinelander to investigate this mysterious, newly discovered creature. Well, one morning when Gene went out to feed the Hodag some breakfast, the chain at the bottom of the pit was snapped. Claw marks up the side of the pit, the back door to the barn completely destroyed, trail leading down to the Pelican River where it had presumably swam across and made its way back out into the forest from whence it came. Currently that forest known as the Hombo Nature Preserve, which is perfect habitat for Hodags to be hiding to this very day. Well, Mr. Barnum showed up to town a few days later, and this put Gene between a rock and a hard place, with the Hodag now having escaped its pit. And so Gene got together with a friend of his by the name of Luke Lakeshore Kearney, lumberjack buddy of his. They found a big pine log and carved the best likeness of the creature they had captured, which had escaped back into the forest. They chained it to the bottom of the pit. All the old timers said it looked pretty realistic, true to life, very, very scary. Well, Mr. Barnum came over to the Pines estate. He took one look at this carved wooden Hodag at the bottom of the pit. Being the consummate showman that he was, determined very quickly that it was just a fake, and so determined it to be a hoax. Made his way back to New York, telling everybody along the way that the Hodag was just a lumberjack tall tale that Gene Shepherd had made up to get people to come to Rhinelander. Which, very well may be, seeing as how you're standing here and I'm telling you this tale over 100 years later. And of course we have a lot of different depictions of the Hodag. This one was hanging in the old A&W's soda fountain years ago, but it's not everything. We've got paintings. These were some signs that hung on the light poles downtown. There's some more paintings here of a Hodag. We have postcards of the original capture. It's on t-shirts, it's on magnets, it's on keychains, it's on coffee mugs.
So, in regards to the Howls and stuff, you've heard the video or seen that online?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Have you heard personally anything around here, or seen anything?
That could potentially be Bigfoot related.
Uh-huh.
I've walked through Humboldt like 1,000 times. It's one of my favorite little hiking trails, especially in the wintertime. I put on hundreds of miles over the winter on snowshoes. And I was back there a couple dozen times this winter alone, and I've never seen anything that, there's a lot of snowshoe prints back there, but, I guess I'd feel like I'd notice if I'd seen, a big footprint or, saw something mysterious. And but no, I can't say that I really have. But I got the feeling that there was some like legitimate echoing through the forest sensation to those videos. And I'm acquainted with the people that took those recordings, and I don't see them as the kind of people that would, make it up or even have the, and I hate to poo-poo on their technological skills, but I can't see them sitting down at a computer and like drumming this up for public consumption, So I believe the videos were real as far as they were taken on a whim when they heard these noises, and I really believe something was out there.
The CAPS team also believes there's something out there, and Carrie didn't say anything about the Hodag throwing rocks at anyone. So what then is throwing rocks at us? There.
Is it peeking behind the tree?
It's moving.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
Right there, moving behind the...
Yep.
And he's in that direction too.
Yep.
You got it.
Yep. The next morning, Colton, Taylor, and myself headed back into the woods to retrieve my audio recorder, my trail cam, and look for signs of whatever was over there the night before.
Oh shit, I just almost stepped on this. Look. Heel. Right there, heel. Arch. Toes. Yeah. Heel, arch, toes.
Oh, I can
and you
see
can
it.
clearly see the arch.
Yeah, you can
And
see
then
it where the toes are
the
digging
toes
in the
blade.
heel.
Yeah, look at this.
Sticks out.
I was walking that way.
Oh my, look at that.
Look over here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at the size of that print right in there.
There's some mucky prints. Okay. We might be getting under it a little bit.
And there's little rocks too.
Oh yeah.
Careful. Watch your steps.
Little foot.
That's a little foot.
That's a little foot.
That's a really little foot.
Right
Oh
here.
yeah, there, look, there's another one.
You could cast that. I bet you could. Man. They take the leaves out and look at it. Little foot. That's a little foot.
You see the very little one right here?
Yeah.
And this another little one right here.
You really sink in this stuff too, so. That might be the 13-incher right there. But the digits go like this,
That's a 9.
and then at the heel.
That's a 9?
Yep.
That's about the same size as the ones that we found across the river when Val and I were looking. They're 9.
This one's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Just be see how you're
9
stepping
by
up.
like 4.
Be careful not to step on anything.
You can see the heel push the leaves right down in
Yeah.
there. And the foot is, look at the toes. You can see the toes,
Yeah.
and it goes like this.
Mm-hmm. It looks like this is
That's a 13. Or, yeah.
And this is, look, these are little toes going in.
Yep.
It's tiptoeing.
That would be the left foot right there. Big toe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Here.
Oh, that sounds good.
Toes.
Oh yeah,
Heel.
that's a good one. Sank right in there too.
That's a 14.
It's the 14, the big boy.
Yep.
The rocks were coming from, and there's a whole bunch of prints.
After staying up almost all night, watching and listening, and then hiking through the woods, I was exhausted. So I headed home. The next day, I returned with Luke to cast a few of the prints that we had found. Not only did we get 3 footprint casts, we also found something even more interesting. Hey, look at this. Handprint? You see it?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Like if he's squatting down here looking? What do you think? What else is going to disturb it like that? To get it that twisty motion. Let's see if there's any finger indents here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Way over there. Yeah. Let's cast that.
I'm trying to differentiate between this and a bear.
I like that. Now you see? 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4, and 5. See that? That's what I wanted. See that, baby?
Yes.
Damn, that's fucking cool. Alright, you're in charge of it.
Okay.
Sorry for the mud.
All right.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
There's the heel. That's a big boy.
Ooh, that is a big boy. What's the measurements on that? Pictures first.
Hey, thanks for bringing everything.
Hey, my God. Oh wait, 1 hour. Oh God. Almost forgot.
Oh my.
16, 17?
More. That's a 17-inch.
What? Said 16, 17 years.
Wait. There's 2. There's 2. Okay, so here is 1. Because there's a heel imprint.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Here is 1. There's a heel here, and then the toe is there. That should be the 6-incher. Yep, there 9, 8. That's the same one as the small one. And then the big one, oh no, here. This is the heel. So that's like 10 inches. And then this is the big one. And that's a 14. This is the heel to these toes.
You sure on the cat set?
No. but you can take pictures of it.
Okay.
There's 2. And it's hard to tell them unless you really know what you're looking for and the size. Once you find a couple of them, it gets better. Alright, this way. That's 8.
Another one.
Oops,
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
That's right. So then, oh no, that's a 14, I guess. The big toe's way up there. Well, that's about 14. Okay, so it steps there. See if you can find any more.
Well, those seem to be heading.
This one's going this way, so take a look, see if you can find one.
You're.
Right there. One, 2, 3, 4, heel. But you can't, do you see that?
Yeah,
It's there,
but it's not there.
but I mean, it's boom, boom. Looks like he's going that way, but I don't know why.
I think all of them we found so far were going that way, weren't they?
No, the last one that we took a picture was the pair of them coming this way together.
Oh yeah.
There's one. Toes, heel.
Sure.
Heel. Toe, 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 toe.
I can see it once you point it out, but
I know. You gotta really get in the habit of looking for them. Here's another one. Heel. Toes. Right there. Do you see them now?
I see it yet now.
Okay, so there.
I don't see this one.
Heel. Toe to toe, toe, toe. Right there. Right there. There.
I don't have to trust you.
You can feel it.
Well, getting down that far is a problem.
There. There.
Nope.
Heel.
Got the tape measure.
Toe, toe, toe. Toe. There. There. See it?
Yeah. Heel.
Heel.
Yep.
Toes. Here.
Now
Yep.
that's quite a big step. I mean,
There it is. Okay,
talking-
so let's measure this because we haven't yet.
this is a full stride for me. That's twice that distance.
Here we go. So there's the toe. This isn't going to be long enough. One stride. I have a tape measure on me apparently too. So let's take a picture of this too. It's in here, I think. Okay. So there's the toes. Can you kind of...
I can.
Here, just step on the edge of that for now. You're above the toe. Well, here, just step on the toe of it. We aren't going to cast them anyway, so. And then
I kind of stepped on it when I was trying to explain.
this one. Yeah. So from, what are we doing, toe to toe or toe to heel?
Well, you put this at toe.
So to the top of the toe is 52 inches from tip of the toe to tip of the toe.
Now watch. When I take a standard size step, I look like this.
So that's you. There's a small one here and a big one here. See it?
Boy, you ain't kidding either.
You see it?
Yeah, I do. Not very long, about 10 inches, but
Well, that's probably the 13 incher. That's the small one and that's the 13 inch.
geez, I haven't seen one of those in forever.
See? 13
Okay.
from heel to toe. After looking up and down the bank, we found several sets of footprints in 3 distinct sizes: a 9-inch, a 13-inch, and the 14-inch. We wanted to know if there had been any other sightings or witnesses in the area. so we placed a few ads out there and got a rather interesting reply from just a few miles outside of Rhinelander.
And it was snowing sideways. Big flakes too, like it was really coming down, and all of a sudden the dogs were on alert. I could hear the dogs upstairs growling, and my dog in my room downstairs started growling too and barking. And you know, I quieted the dogs down, like, it's just the wind, you guys, you know what I mean, chill out. And then they were real on edge like the whole night. And Louis thought it was me messing around, you know what I mean, out here in the cars or whatever, and I thought it was the wind, and we didn't really like put two and two together. And then at like 3 in the morning, Ruger went outside and started going ballistic, and I let him in, all his hair standing up on the back of his neck, and he was freaked out. So I let him in, he woke the whole house up, and we went back to bed. And then at about 4:30, I felt him sit up in bed, and I have a big picture window looking up outside the house. And he sits up in bed and he's staring straight out the picture window growling. And I'm like, you're not waking the whole house up again. Like, and I grabbed him, I rolled him over me and set him on the other side of me, and he wouldn't stop looking out the window. He literally sat right back up in bed and laid his head on my shoulder and kept staring out the window. And then I got up at 7 for work, and when I came upstairs, Louis was like, "Did you hear anything last night?" I was like, "Yeah." "You heard that too?" And he's like, "Yeah, I thought it was you messing around." And I was like, "I thought it was the wind." And he's like, "Well, go outside and take a look." And when I walked out the front door, the garbage can, that's the 55-gallon can, and it's right next to the front door, it was all the way around the side of the house, and it was full of garbage. Like, it was completely full. There's no way that a bear could have gotten that off the porch without us hearing it and without the lid falling off right away. Like, you could clearly see that it was carried to where it was, and then the garbage wasn't just like torn through like a bear would tear through it. There weren't any teeth marks in anything. There was 3 different piles. There's a pile here, 5 feet over here, there's another pile, 5 feet over here, there's another pile. And that's where the garbage can and lid both were too. And, you know, I've dealt with bears throughout my whole life. Bear is not gonna leave it nice and neat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then we thought like maybe it was a human. But I'm sorry, when the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour and it is wicked cold out there, ain't nobody gonna be going through your garbage 10 feet away from your window. This is northern Wisconsin, like,
Yeah.
and we're out in the middle of nowhere. So it all kind of freaked me out. And then after I looked at the garbage, I went back downstairs and I looked out the basement door where Ruger was looking out the window. And from the basement door, I was like, "Louis, I'm pretty sure there's a footprint out here." And it was fresh in the snow, but like, there's no other footprints, and it was just a dusting of snow. But where it stepped, there was like moss, and it broke through that top layer of ice and left a perfect footprint into the moss. And like, all the moss was broken. You could clearly see it, and I'm running around the house looking for plaster. Like, so Louis went to town and got me plaster. And this is what it came out as. But to me, I can clearly see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The toes.
Yep, the heel.
Yep. Here. I want to say it's still right here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I see it. Yep. Yeah, that's a nice print.
Okay.
My bedroom's right there where the big picture window is.
Oh.
So like at 4:30 in the morning, my bed is literally right there facing this way, kinda.
That's only 7.5 feet up from the bottom here. So at 7.5 feet, you could easily reach over this Yep. Okay. But right back here, all these branches are bent over and woven together. You can crawl right underneath them. I mean, it's not a very big structure, but you got branches all broken off back in here. And then this is all woven down so that you can sit back here and hide. And if you're coming from the house to there, you can sit down here and watch.
Dude, and I'm a night owl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like, after I'm done working, I like coming out here and I like spending, you know what I mean, my nights out here in the garage working on my car. And then sometimes, you know what I mean, I'll leave at 2 or 3 in the morning and just go for a ride. And for like a week before the garbage went into, I was getting a really eerie feeling outside at night. Like I felt like something was watching me. And this is crazy because this is exactly where
You can see it's all interwoven. It didn't like grow that way. This was all put together, all bent over. Because one of the two of these bent over and done, I could see. But you got broken stuff in here, kind of weaving in. This is all bent over. This is pinned in.
Wow.
The intricacy of this, and then there's that. And then there's a little bit more back there.
Wow. And see, also this stuff, I don't believe was here 3 weeks ago when I was, you know what I mean?
All
back here.
the prints and stuff that we can find, there's only one set. They're all about that 11-inch that you got in there.
Really?
So it seems like there's only one in here.
There's only one.
Making his CAPS team debut on this trip is Steven. He is an avid outdoorsman and has spent a lot of time hiking and biking through cross-country trails. He has also had some interesting paranormal experiences, but that's another story. Now that we were a lot more familiar with the woods, it was time for a night hike. We all went for a daytime hike through the woods, so that those who weren't familiar with it could get acquainted before heading in after dark. Everyone come in. 9:30 p.m. exactly right now. So everyone's got a timestamp going,
Yep.
your lights on. Yours turns on the back here.
Yep, I saw that.
Okay.
Location on our phones.
Yep. Everybody make sure that's going. You guys head down this way,
Okay.
and then come in the far end down there, and then we're going to drive around to the other side.
Perfect.
Our plan was to have 3 teams. First, base camp would be Taylor, Colton, and Ma, back at the apartments with the van. Next, Fathom and Luke would head in the main entrance to the trails and head due east towards the middle. And last, Stephen and myself would get dropped off along the highway right by where we found the graveyard of animals. We would head along the ridge, then north towards the apartments and meet up with Fathom and Luke.
And that's bringing us to the top of the ridge.
Yeah, we need to go over there.
Okay. All right, I'm with you.
Our goal is to listen and move through the woods, hoping to flush out something so that one of the other teams could hopefully get an encounter. We moved slowly, stopping along the way at times to listen and wait. This is a snowmobile trail down there.
It's just weird that those frogs stopped. Now they're back at it.
Heard some. Thought I heard some noise over here just a second. Oh, you hear that?
No, I don't.
sounds waterproof.
It's raining.
Yeah.
See him?
I see the other bridge.
Oh, it's a bridge. Never mind. Up here, look. There's a sign, a white thing. No, we have never been here before.
What?
We have never been here before.
Oh crap.
Oh no. No.
Wait, is that
Oh
the
look.
sign?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here I think we're lost.
This is weird. That was a gunshot. Could have been a knock. There's a tree knock just before this.
Just for the record, I'm hearing something moving down at the bottom down there.
I know, I got nothing on burn.
Okay.
I don't.
It sounds like it could be a squirrel.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound huge or anything. It's hard to tell with all the water droplets and everything.
Because
Are you hearing that? Do you hear that down there?
hey, I got something. No, I don't.
Now it's over here. It's like a deer or something. It's getting closer. You hearing that?
Yep.
Yeah, it could be water running.
Running or dripping?
Right. Did you hear that stick snap though? A while ago. another stick break.
The reason I can't see anything anyway is because the ridge drops down below my thermal. See?
Yeah, there's something moving down there. I also heard, it almost sounded like it was moving in this direction, or there was more than one.
You feel like we're getting surrounded?
It crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I hear it two different directions right now. You hear that? Okay, I hear water. Like water dropping, but then I hear something moving through the leaves.
I hear it.
That's the rain coming.
Yeah, I'm not convinced though, because like I can see water. See that bowed branch there? I just saw water drip out of the tree, hit there, and I heard the sound there.
I'm hearing it further through the
I am
woods.
too. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could just be water, because look at all this. You're going through a lot of pine here, and you're getting heavier drops and stuff. I think we're chasing shadows right now.
Okay.
I mean, better safe than sorry, but I think we're chasing shadows. But I'm not going down there.
No.
We have lost the trail. Look at this.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to get back there.
This one we crossed earlier?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
It wasn't very long. This way, there's a bench somewhere.
Okay, yeah. This is looking good.
Sorry, Jonesy.
Yeah, we really are sorry. But this sucks more than you can imagine. This way?
Yeah. Up.
Okay.
Because we came down.
We came down one.
But we crossed two bridges. What the? Alright, let's just get out of here.
What's that?
I said, yeah, I'm not liking this.
Why not? It's fun.
Wrong way. Jonesy. Jonesy, we're hella lost.
Well, we're not lost, we just don't know where we are.
Or rather, we don't know where we are.
Steve is going to pull up his location. We're going to start making our way towards you.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll explain kind of what happened. We have our lights on.
I want to hear the howl.
Can you imagine being in here and hearing it? Oh, I think I'd piss myself.
Yeah, it would definitely freak me out. But that's what I came here for.
Somewhere we didn't take the other ridge.
What the hell is that? Hear that bird?
That wasn't a bird.
It went like ring.
That was a...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bird. Did one of you guys whistle?
That was a bird. That whistle. Should we whistle?
No.
Okay, that was weird. Did you just say look at this place?
Yeah.
It sounded like you were whispering right in my ear. Yeah, it was like right here. We heard a strange whistle. Possibly.
Did you just whistle?
Well, it was in the opposite direction. A possible bird or maybe wood rubbing against each other like that one that I touched.
Every time that I've been out in the woods hunting Bigfoot, if you whistle, something will whistle back.
We didn't whistle.
I know.
We should have.
I don't know.
But you said this place is amazing or something like that?
Yeah. I said, oh my god, this place is amazing. And I
Yeah.
saw like this weird branch up above us.
And he was from you to me, far ahead
A
of me.
little bit farther, yeah.
And he's got his back to me and he says that, and it sounded like he whispered it right in my ear.
After meeting up, we split back into teams and spent a while longer in the woods, but nothing else noteworthy happened, so we called it a night. Next, we wanted to get a better idea of how big whatever I caught on the thermal imager was. So we sent Luke into the woods for a solo hike to the location we estimate the creature was standing in the video, based on where I had been standing, where the tree was, and the angle of the video. So you can see these are the same trees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down this embankment because obviously we have Luke over on the other side. Luke, can you like wave your arms around a little bit?
How's this?
Yeah, I'm not seeing you from up here, so okay, now I'm going to come down the bank.
See Brentford?
I can physically see you, like, with that, and then on the thermal I can see you, and whatever was there I can tell you, if it's the same spot, is probably twice your size.
Dang.
I mean easy. You look like a freaking... I have a lock on you, but you're probably at least half the size of whatever that thing was.
I'm standing on top of a log right now. They're just about you're gonna get good as you're gonna get.
Yeah, and I can see you clear with my eyes, and there's nothing blocking you. So if you were, warm enough to stick out right now, it's just too warm over there to get a good, clean image of you. But I still see you moving on the thermal enough to know that it's you on the thermal. Whatever was on the opposite shore was big. Based on the comparison videos we shot, maybe twice the size of Luke, at least in bulk. It threw rocks, it didn't use any flashlight, and left barefoot footprints in the mud in 3 different sizes. Along with the stick structures that we found on the ridge, the howls Colton and Taylor recorded, and multiple other eyewitness accounts in the area. It's the CAPS team's opinion that the Hodag isn't the only thing loose in the woods of Rhinelander. We'll see you next time.